Hey everyone, Lauren Wild, the Church Witch here, and we are doing the reveal for last week actually. So this is what's known as a retroactive read. And I love retroactive reads because they're not so much like divination driven, divination to the future. They are like looking back and being like aha moments, right? So thanks guys for your patience. Like if you have been following me for very long, then you would know that I was in the process of moving out of a like 4,000 square foot home that kind of fell through because of the COVID situation. My landlords had to come home and I had to find a new place and I had to move out, and I have 3 kids and it was crazy. So hi, Grim Theologian. How are you? So all of that being said, we are doing what's known as a retroactive read. And so we are looking back as to what the universe, like what the messages were so that we can apply them. So last week was like the really thick piece of the eclipse that happened, our lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Sagittarius. And so we are coming close to the closing of that portal and then the opening of the next one on Sunday with the solar eclipse at 0 degrees of Cancer, lining up with Litha, the summer solstice as well. Okay, and then we have one more 2-week push. And so the eclipse that we had, the lunar eclipse, that was a closure piece to the last eclipse that we had on January 10th of 2020. Okay, so it's a 6-month portal. You kind of want to look back as like, what are the things that you decided in that portal, and like, where are you at now, and what are you closing from that? And then the one that's on Sunday until the lunar eclipse that's in Capricorn 2 weeks later. This is the next 6-month portal that will take us into like November. That's like when we start to really get into the Sagittarius and Gemini nodal axis. Right now, we're really closing up the 2-year period that was the Cancer Capricorn axis that we had for 2 years. Okay, so I have this new deck that I got in Florida. It is called the Liminal Spirits, Gateway of the Liminal Spirits. I love the way it looks. It's super pretty. And I'll show you some of the different pictures. Like, look at the time one. Look how pretty that is. I was like, oh, I want these like tattooed on my body. And so I shoved them in here. So you're gonna have to give me just 1 second to find them again. Hopefully you got on Instagram and you got on my Patreon and you went ahead and picked your cards from last week. And we'll get started in just 1 second. If I can find them, where'd they go? I don't hope I didn't take them out. Might have taken them out. I keep telling people, y'all, like, life's about to get grounded. It's just been COVID-19. It threw all of us, but it really threw me with losing my house with 3 kids in the middle of a divorce. Man, that I would not wish that on anybody. So y'all tell me how you're doing. I see a couple of people are watching live. Yay. I haven't really built much of a YouTube following. The majority of my work has been done on Instagram and Facebook. So I'm kind of like, opening myself to the idea of building a channel on YouTube. So let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear while I pull up the order of what I had last week so I can make sure I get it right. And then we'll drop on in. Okay. All right. So the way that these intuitive readings work is you're going to pick the card that you believe has a message for you. Okay. This is how they were in the pictures last week too. So I made sure they're in the right order. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep grounding breath, exhale out, hand over heart, and just ask, from a heart-centered space, like, what is the message that, came through for you last week so that we can look back at it and kind of reflect on it and have some like aha medicine moments. Okay. So ask yourself, is this your card? Yes or no? Is the center your card? Yes or no? Or is the left or the right your card? Yes or no? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and flip them. All right. So on left, we have owl. So pretty. I love that so much. Okay. In the center, we have deer. And it's so funny because I have, this is the card I picked, and I have all these deer around my house. I actually fed a deer an apple in my backyard the other day. And then the last one is cave. Okay. So they're really pretty, but I don't know them very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you guys from the book, so you get like the full thing. So I think it's really great. And I don't know these really well, but they're really pretty. I really enjoyed using them over the last week. Okay, so we will start with owl. All right, so if you chose owl, this is your reading. The wise owl brings with it an appreciation of silence and knowledge of the realms of magic and mystery. While owls are known for their distinctive and haunting calls, they also embody quietude in their power of silent flight and watchful guardian-like presence. As evidenced by their large, expressive eyes, they have exceptional vision, even in the darkest of nights. With their loud calls, secretive nature, and nocturnal doings, owls have long been associated with witches and a multitude of goddesses, including Athena and Hecate, and also seen as harbingers of death. But death is just another doorway, and the owl does make wise choices about these kinds of things. So if you chose the owl, your message is the power of silence is underrated in our loud, busy world. The owl reminds you to be still and take in the world around you without adding to the cacophony. The quiet ones are indeed powerful. Number 2, what we consume becomes a part of us, whether it takes the form of food, art, or information. For a healthy spirit, be mindful of these things and cleanse yourself as needed to remove what you do not need. And number 3, death may come for you in soft white wings, but this is only natural and necessary for change. Like Bladoid, we must be beings of flowers woven together with intention. But when we go to seed to bring forth new magic. Okay, so that is owl. So let's see. You chose cave. Yeah. That I remember reading through them and being like, yeah, makes sense. Okay, so where'd you go, deer? I just saw the deer.
Hey, Lauren?
Yep, I'll be right there. Okay, ready? Deer. Graceful and majestic, the deer resides in the depths of the woods and on the edges of meadows and flirts along the borders of civilizations. Often inquisitive and playful, the deer can be entrancing. Wow. Not enchanting, it says entrancing. Unpredictable and at times dangerous to tangle with. He speaks of sovereignty with gentle fierceness and hidden power. When this spirit is present, things can move very quickly, setting things in motion in the blink of an eye. Do not underestimate the deer spirit, as he knows intimately the cycles of life and death. The messages. Take care to respect and make note of your surroundings. You don't need to be loud or big to make a difference. Move forward with grace and dignity. Be prepared. Take action at a moment's notice, as quick thinking will be required of you. Preparation provides a foundation, so you'll be balanced even in difficult situations. It is time to be light of heart, not letting fear or worry weigh you down. Savor the moment and allow yourself a sense of play. Okay, so like I said, knowing this is a retroactive reading, meaning we're looking back and how these applied to us last week, it's important to kind of apply them. However, I really believe in divine timing. I believe that, the fact that I'm reading this right now, it could really answer some questions for someone watching that really needed it, and it answers the thing that was a question last week. It could also be really timely for you in your life right now, right? Like deer makes more sense to me today than it did last week. But I saw at least 20 deer, and I fed a deer, an apple out of my hand the other day. And the fact that I pulled deer card makes way more sense to me, is much more meaningful to me than it would be, even a week ago. So apply how you feel it is necessary. Take what you need and leave the rest. The last one is cave. Cave, the mythical cave, the home of the hermit, lair of monsters, place of mystery, navel of the earth. It asks us to use touch and sound to find our way, feeling internally instead of relying on sight. We must tread slowly and carefully so we don't lose our footing and fall into a chasm. Great care is needed not to be too loud, or the reverberations could cause the entire structure to collapse or even wake sleeping monsters. The messages. A period of adjustment is necessary when entering the cave or leaving it. We must give our eyes and our minds time to adjust to the brightness of light and the shadow of darkness in order to see our way out. Withdrawing from the world time to time can be much needed and necessary, of course, action. The cave is a wonderful place to hibernate for a bit, lick our wounds, and seek shelter from the storm. Face your fears by exercising patience and understanding with yourself. You don't need to move any faster than necessary to find your way out. It may seem like an eternity in a dark, but this is simply an opportunity to speak with darkness itself. Wow. So good. Okay, so the deck is called the Liminal Spirits Oracle by Laura Temptis Zarkov, and this is the imagery is beautiful. Like, I would love to have this as a huge painting on my wall. So, all right, y'all, that's what I have for you now. And be on the lookout for the extended message that's going to go out for this week, either today or tomorrow. Okay. All right. I love you guys. See ya. Bye.